अनुराग जी, बधाई आपको। बहुत बड़े मार्जिन से आप जीते हैं हमीरपुर में 1,82,000। many congratulations to you. I want to, while congratulating you on Hamirpur and Himachal Pradesh, I want to ask you, as far as the NDA is concerned, big jolt in Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana. How do you see the results that have come in today?
Definitely, that is not up to the expectations in these states. We'll look into the details later. But as of now, if you look at the NDA numbers, they are well above the halfway mark. So I'm sure we're going to form the government under the able leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji.
Anurag Thakur ji, what could be the reason for this rise in the votes and seats of the India alliance vis-a-vis the NDA? What do you think worked for them and what do you think didn't work for you?
It's too early to say anything on the reasons behind the increase in numbers of the India alliance. But let me say here that if you look at the NDA numbers also, we are well close to the 300 mark. And if you look at the third consecutive term, in the last so many years, last so many decades, it is the Prime Minister Modi who's got the full majority in 2014, 19, and we are hopeful till the end of the results, it's going to be a fantastic result as well.
Anurag ji, we already hear from the India Alliance feelers going out to your alliance partners, Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. Do you think the NDA is fast and together, or do you think, it's free season and in this political season, you'll have to keep your alliance partners stuck to you with Fevicol?
Don't worry about our partners. We have contested the elections together under the NDA alliance, and whatever the people have voted, they voted for the alliance partners, including BJP and others. And let me assure you and your viewers that it's a strong alliance partners and they will stick with us and we're going to form the government.
Do you think finally the opposition can put to rest questions on the neutrality of the Election Commission as well as the working of the EVMs finally?
If you look at the opposition strategy in the last 10 years, they have been doing this, unnecessarily raising the issues which were not of importance, calling their people outside the polling booths and into the headquarters and all that, and also raising allegations against the EVM and the Election Commission. None of them have come out and said a word in favor of ECI, Election Commission of India, or the EVMs, or the neutrality of the elections. So this also raises a question why they have been into this.
I want to ask you, Anurag ji, Ab ki baar 400 par. Do you think when that's not become a reality, the result is because of overconfidence and possibly some complacency in the rank and file of the BJP?
If you look at the third consecutive term, getting these numbers is also a big achievement, and I'm sure we could have done little better. In few states, we did not get as per the estimates of the BJP, but we can look into the detail what had been the reasons of that kind of fall in the numbers. And those 4-5 states are clearly, indicates that the number is not as per the expectations of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
What do you see as the single largest message from this election result?
Single largest message is that people want Modi government back again, a decisive government, a strong leadership, which has taken the country forward in the last 10 years from the from the fragile 5 to the 5th largest economy of the world, and they want to see India at the 3rd largest economy next 5 years. And here is the government where Prime Minister Modi has a roadmap for the next not only 5 years, but for the 25 years so that we can become the Viksit Bharat. And today's youth is looking at the growth of the country, development of the country. If you look at the pro-poor schemes, that has actually worked well, and the last mile delivery has been ensured under the Prime Minister Modi's government. And that has been the greatest asset for us. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
Do you think the opposition can still make a bid to steal away the mandate that is in favor of the NDA?
Navika ji, Congress has not touched even 100. So BJP is at 240. So there's a big difference. And if you look at the NDA and the INDIA numbers, that there's still a gap of more than 60 seats. And let me assure you, there's no question of India Alliance forming the government. It's going to be the NDA back in power. As we have respected, given all the due respect to our alliance partners in the last 10 years, despite having the full majority with the Modi government. And the same will happen in the future as well. We believe in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas for in the country.
Thank you very much. Many congratulations to you, and thank you very much for joining me here on Times Now. We're hoping to see you in Delhi soon to get a sense of when the government will be formed and what the future steps will be. But thank you very much, Anurag Thakur ji, for joining me on Times Now.
Thank you, Navika ji. Thank you.
All right, so that is Navika in conversation with the Union Minister Anurag Thakur. And, Pranesh, he does underscore the fact that we will have to go back to the drawing table, because look at the kind of losses perhaps the BJP has seen, particularly in Uttar Pradesh. I've also traveled to the length and breadth of the country. We didn't sense a wave, but then there has been a lot that has been at play, especially the Purvanchal belt again has seen a lot of reverses, you would also acknowledge, for the BJP in particular. But the truth is, all said and done, you will be looking at an NDA government only taking shape. So a lot is going to happen between now, when you are looking at these numbers almost solidifying on your screens right now. NDA is still standing at a 294 and the INDA alliance at a 232, Pranesh. And we do know that Chandrababu Naidu is being wooed. Nitish Kumar has been spoken to right now. So a lot of things will happen.
Yeah,
like I said,
Deepthi, I want to underline a point for our viewers as we go along, and we'll set the tone, put the numbers in context also. Our guest will be joining us. Jayam Rogre is just taking a seat. Tehseen Poonawala will be with us. Charu Pragya joining us already, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Look, the kind of response that you heard from Anurag Thakur mirrors the response we've seen from other BJP leaders, union ministers. And they're concerned. They say that the loss in seats is shocking. But look at the jubilation on the other side. What is the Congress party, or for that matter, INDIA alliance, celebrating? That Prime Minister Modi does not have the mandate that he had in 2014 or 2019. He will still be the Prime Minister. Jayam Rog, how are you looking at the numbers? Jay, you're all mic'd up, all ready. Yeah. Why is the Congress party celebrating? Shouldn't they introspect that they haven't even touched 100?
Well, doobte ko tinke ka sahara. They finally managed to at least get a score respectable to say, yeah, you know what, we are still two digits, but somewhere shy of 3 digits. We've reached there. It's like coming out of the ICU and going to the general ward. But it doesn't mean that the India Alliance is closer to power. Please, let's get to reality. Even if they get over Mr. Naidu and Mr. Nitish Kumar, just look at the entire assortment of parties they're going to have to deal with. Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, 1 seat. Akali Dal, 1 seat. Independents from Punjab, 2 seats. In regional independents in Gujarat and Maharashtra, 1 seat each. Then LJP, 5. HAM, 1. JDS 2. Are they really going to be able to put this assortment together? It's a big question.
So, Jay, would it be fair to say that this is also going to be a khichdi sarkar, much what, the Prime Minister has also detested multiple times? He said for stability. Look at the bloodbath today, at the Dalal Street. Yeah. And that is again reflective of the kind of mood in the country right now that was on the path of growth.
I think we are overemphasizing the importance of sentiment. Let's just go back to history. The last time the UPA government was formed, the Congress, right? What was the tally? 206. You have a party with 243. Kahan 243, kahan 206. And with that 206 and outside support, A lot of parties with their pre-poll allies, they were not even 293. They were 262.
And can I ask a fundamental question, Deepti? Look, I mean, we've all seen the kind of commentary against Prime Minister Modi. They said he's a dictator, he's not a democrat, Samvidhan khatre mein hai, desh khatre mein, what not. Tehseen Poonawalla, you tell me, hand on your heart, which dictator in the world or which authoritarian leader would subject himself to this kind of numbers game or scrutiny at the hands of the voters?
So thank you so much. First of all, good to see Charu, and congratulations to the BJP on being the single largest party. But listen, the thing is not about dictatorship. The thing is about an authoritarian streak that the BJP has. The BJP, if it merely wants to win an election, is fine. What the BJP attempted to do is it wants to change your life. And the campaign that the Honorable Prime Minister fought, I'm again saying, congratulations they won, but did not behave being the Prime Minister of the greatest country in the world. Mutton, machli, it wasn't issues. Mangal Sutra, bhais lekar inko de dege. These are not issues of the country. It wants to change your lifestyle. And that is what the people of India have rejected. They've rejected that. This is a vote against Modi ji ki guarantee. I'm not saying BJP hasn't won. I'm saying BJP is the single largest.
All right.